This is the Career Exploration Assignment Instructor's Guide as part of the Canvas module. So this is available on the Canvas Commons. It starts off very simply just describing what the module is, states our goal, and so forth. It also provides all of the relevant links that you might need to see that relate to web pages, the actual assignments themselves, and perhaps maybe a classroom application of this type of material. Also, it includes presentation materials, which are videos and so forth, as well as all of the individual assignment pages. So the purpose for this page really is to be able to allow you as an instructor to very quickly gain access to whatever resource you feel is needed at the moment. On the next page, this is one that you would actually show to students. In fact, the next 3 pages are things that you would publish to your class so that your students could have access. These are links. This page actually shows the different links that students could use to familiarize themselves and perhaps to do an exploration that's most appropriate to whatever their current needs are. So the first one here, where it says Consultopedia Job and Career Pages, is really just an introductory video that we showed earlier in this presentation. The second one is actually for virtual and work from home jobs. These are specifically helpful for students who currently are going to school and would like to be able to go ahead and have a job, okay, perhaps that they could work from home on a virtual basis. More and more employers are doing this now. It started with COVID, but it's continuing, and I probably foresee that it will continue into the future. On the other hand, if they're not looking for a virtual job, but they have a good idea of where they want to go, meaning they're pretty sure of the career that they want, they're probably better off doing a keyword search, and that's what that next link shows them. On the other hand, if they're not sure of the career they want, but they know the discipline or the major, they can go to that discipline, that Mount SAC page that lists all of our divisions, all of our disciplines, all of our degrees, and allows them to make the appropriate selection. On the other hand, if they're not sure of the career that they want, they're not sure of their major, maybe they're an undeclared, but they do have a pretty good idea as to what level of educational achievement they want to get into. Meaning if they're looking for a job right now, this one actually breaks it down according to levels of educational achievement and whether it's an entry-level position, which requires 1 year or less of experience, or a regular position, which may require a little bit more experience to get hired. So the way that we break this one down is by first, the lower level would be associate's degree or less entry-level positions. There's another page specifically for associate's degree regular jobs. Then there's a page for bachelor's degree entry-level positions, another page for bachelor's degree regular jobs. Then we have a page for master's degree regular jobs, and we have a page for doctoral degree regular jobs. This can really help students to develop for themselves a career ladder. Based on what their aspirations are, they can start working backwards to determine which jobs might lead them to their ultimate destination or to the career of their wishes. So it could be a good tool for them to use. The last one, of course, is actually filtering through the different types of positions based on SOC code. So this allows them to slowly but surely filter through and become increasingly specific about the type of job and career that they may choose. There's over 1,000 to choose from, so this really does allow them to fumfer around, experiment, and help them to find many occupations and careers that perhaps they never even knew existed. So it's really a good way to go. Okay, the next page is the assignment page. So this is the page that has all of the directions for our students on how to go ahead and complete the assignment. This is a PDF document. I like to have on the top of the page here the opportunity for students to either download or simply view it in the browser. The way that we have it set up is that we'll auto view inline in Canvas right upon posting or the pasting of the page. So as soon as they open the page, they'll be able to see the assignment automatically. But anyway, as we scroll down, I'd kind of like to start first with showing you an outline of what this assignment is going to look like, and then we could go through each of the sections. Okay, so this is what the assignment outline looks like. Okay, it starts off with active job listing details. So it asks the student to take a look toward the top of any of the career pages that we have. They all have active job listings. So it asks the students to identify 3 different job titles that they could go ahead and examine in detail. So once they select the job title, of course, clicking on it takes them directly to the link, to the employer link that actually shows them the job, the details, what they're asking for, everything about the job. So it allows them to actually not only identify the jobs that might be of interest to them, but to take a very close look at what's entailed. So what it does is under 1A, the very first section for the first job title, it asks them to identify the education requirements. It also then asks them to identify the experience requirements. And then a very important part, in my opinion, is to be able to ask them about the pros and cons, in a strong paragraph about the job that they're examining. And they do this for 3 different job titles. So the idea here is to be able to allow them to kind of fumfer around, kind of explore a little bit some different jobs that might be of interest to them. Then the next section is career preparation. So we ask them to select one of those 3 jobs that they just examined and to use that to select a career. So I'll show you in the instructions in just a little bit how they do that. But bottom line, when they select a career, there's all the different accordions that come down, including core duties, work activities, and knowledge required. So what it does is it asks them to expand, for example, under A, the core duties section of the career preparation section of the page. And it asks them how can they start building experience and skills doing the top 5 core duties provided, but to start doing that now. So how can they start building experience and skill doing that? This helps them to perhaps volunteer for projects, perhaps start doing some additional work, perhaps studying and researching a little bit more about the topic. But it really gets them thinking in terms of how do I start developing and preparing myself for this position now while I'm still in school. The second is for work activities. And in a similar vein, we're asking them to, again, for the top 5 work activities, describe how they can start now building experience and skill to be able to go ahead and do these. And then the third is the knowledge required. This, again, we ask them for the top 5 knowledge areas. How can they start to build experience and skill now to be able to go ahead and prepare for it? Then at the bottom of the page, there were dynamically created career-specific web resources, and they were broken down by category. You had videos, you had job descriptions, you had LinkedIn, a variety of different links that they could go ahead and see that might be able to help them. So what we want them to do here is to really take a look at all of those links and to select any 2 that they found were meaningful. And what we're asking them to do in the assignment is to provide the link URL and then to describe why they found it was meaningful. And do that for 2 links. So in essence, that's the assignment. Now, if we scroll to the top of this page, this again is the student instruction page. This tells them exactly how to go ahead and start the project. In other words, how they would go ahead and use the page to select the different types of job titles. And there's many different starting points, but it basically explains to them how to do that. Then once they find a job, from there, they select on it and they complete the sections, for the job-specific sections. Then once they've actually completed that section, then they actually move to the career preparation. And the career preparation, as we discussed earlier, means that they're going to be expanding the core duties area, the knowledge required, and the work activities area. After they do that, as in illustration 4, and they complete those sections, and this just gives them detailed information about how to complete each of those sections. Then they get into career-specific resources at the bottom of the page. And again, once they select 2 links and describe why they were meaningful for them, then I normally recommend for them to be able to go ahead and print the page to a PDF file so that they always have access to the information. This is extremely helpful for them at some future point. Additionally, I also provide and make sure that the students get access to the call for follow-up action. Meaning, in my class, I like to introduce them to the discipline, give them some good ideas, ask if they need additional assistance so they could contact me for additional advice, perhaps. But I also strongly encourage them to take advantage of other Mount SAC career services. And these links are provided for them for the Career Center, the Career Hub, the counselors and advisors, the library, continuing education, the divisions and departments, as well as work experience. So this has basically everything that they need to be able to effectively complete the assignment and the project. Then the next page is the actual assignment details page. This one here, I provide a brief outline and describe for them that sometimes when you're in Canvas and you want to create a numbered, lettered outline, it's difficult to do so. So I show them an easy way to do it where they don't have formatting problems, and that's just to put a little space in between those rather than hitting enter. And what that ends up doing is that it creates a text version of the same outline that we have above. So depending on the level of sophistication of the student and their familiarity with using numbering and lettering as part of the headings. So from there, it actually has for them everything that they would need to do to be able to go ahead and complete this assignment. At the very top in this section, it does have them and gives them the ability to see the rubric. So if they click on this again, this shows them the grading rubric for the assignment. So they could have an opportunity to see exactly what's involved, how this thing is going to be graded. So it's a completely transparent process. So in a nutshell, these are the resources that you can go ahead and use to go ahead and infuse very easily the career exploration Canvas module into your course. So it makes it easy, makes it simple, and gives you the flexibility to modify anything to suit your needs.